Okay, so I have typed in Chris Froome into Google, and we've got all this stuff. Chris Froome could lose Velta title after abnormal drugs test result. Everyone's calling it abnormal. Chris Froome on Twitter has said. Let's have a look what Chris Froome has said on Twitter. I never ever thought this would happen. I didn't think that the UCI would allow such a large profile athlete to be busted. So I can't confidently get to the bottom of this. Can't share information. Blah 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 blah. Well, basically, it is So Chris won the Velta. What's he eating there? Some carbs. Oh, I thought Chris was doing low carb diet. He's dipping that almost into chocolate. But yeah, Chris Froome is the gun rider, and he was in Australia. I think he's in Australia now. I've ridden Chris for a few times, and for the superstar he is, he's quite down to earth, and he is married to this lovely lady here. What her name is, Michelle. So I would say that Chris, I didn't think the UCI would let this happen. I don't think it's good for the sport. I think that riders like this should get protection. They bring a lot of people into the sport, and I don't think catching them out is going to do anything. This is not good for the Tour de France. This is not good for the UCI. This is not good for cycling. It's not good for Shimano. It's not good for Criterium Shanghai. It just isn't good for anyone. Is that Marcel Kittel? He's still dark that Michael Matthews was slamming his mitts. And it's not good for anyone. It is not good for anyone. What's this shot here? What's this? Latap Australia. And so you got Froome there. And you got a few other crew up in the front. So you can see that I'm leaning on Chris Froome any day of the year. But that, except for the Tour de France. But I'm going beyond that. What I'm saying is, let's get back to the hype on the internet right now. So we've got champion cyclists. This is bad for cycling. This is not good. Now, I'm not one to go, oh my god, this is news for me. This is news. We expect these riders and runners and swimmers to have insane, like an abnormal, mutant level of cardio efficiency. So he got caught with salbutamol, which is like a little asthma drug that all the kids at school take on sports day. It's a drug I used to take on sports day, and the level apparently is for WADA is 1,000 nanograms per milliliter, and Chris was, I think, apparently busted for 2,000 milliliters, which is a lot. 2,000 nanograms per mil, which is I'm not sure how much you have to do that. What's going on here? CBA. Yeah, we got all sorts of stuff. 53,000 ton money laundering. This is the biggest bank in Australia. So people often shocked when they realise the truth of what goes on behind in professional sports. And the athletes have said, look, you win. If you don't win, we'll get someone else who can win. So if you don't dope, you won't cope. Simple as that. So it's just business, man. It's business. I mean, look at all the news here. We got Trump. We got power plant stat. This is the world we live in, man. This is the world we live in. So Chris Froome busted for asthma drugs. It's no surprise for me. I mean, it is a surprise to me that they would let it happen. They should not. They should definitely suppress this sort of stuff. It's not good. I think if you bring a certain amount of cyclists to cycling, then you should get a free ride. You're earning your keep. You're earning your income. So I think it's a slap in the face for Chris Froome, who brings a lot of people into cycling, for the UCI to let him get caught like this. This is really, it's not good. So I don't understand why the UCI did that. I mean, look at the fans. They want to see mutants. They want to see freaks do 500 watts up a climb after 3 weeks of racing, and jostling in the bunch and everything. So I can't believe that the UCI would let this happen. I'm repeating myself, but I'm really shocked that the UCI would let Chris Froome. I mean, he's like the golden goose. He's like Peter Sagan. I mean, he's bigger than Peter Sagan. It's insane that they would let him let him happen. That's what the fuck's going on? That's Cipollini. Holy shit. That's Cipollini on the swole gas. Looks like he's got some makeup in there as well to make himself look even more ripped. But it is crazy that they let Chris Froome do it. But there's no doubt about it. If you're doing 450 watts, in the Tour de France and the TT, I mean, you're not doing that in cornflakes and Durianriders banana smoothie shake, are you? It's just we expect the athletes to have insane amount of watts. If they can't deliver, we ridicule them. We say, oh, you're a has-been, you should retire or whatever. And bike companies, I mean, you got Specialized, they want Contador to win. You got Pinarello, they want Froome to win. There's that contractual pressure, the obligation. It's like, you got to win. You got Kask helmets on there. You got Oakley sunglasses. They made big money from Cadell and Lance Armstrong. They want winners, man. They want, what's this jersey here? That's random. Half jersey. That would go for a lot in China. If you sold that in the Chinese market, they would give you half a human for that. This is always a funny one. People claiming that Chris Froome just eats avocado, egg, and a bit of dead fish. Like this, it's hilarious. The nonsense out there. What will they say now that he got busted for doping? Chris Cubs, I've seen eating bananas. You can't push out 450 watts for an hour on low carb, and you need to be able to push the watts. Otherwise, you can't train. You can't. What's the good of you training at 200 watts? There's no point doing that. If you're a Tour de France contender, you have to be able to push massive power, and to do that, you need to cut the fuck up. So to be able to be that light, but also push out 400, 450 watts, 500 watts, attack at 1,000 watts on the climb, you need carbohydrates in your system. But I'm digressing here. Chris Froome busted for doping. What's my thoughts? I hope that they just let it slide. I'm disappointed that UCI would let this come up. It's just not good for sport or cycling. And I understand the pressures that athletes have to win. The fans expect it, the sponsors expect it, your wives expect it, your husbands expect it. Everyone expects you to motherfucking put food on the table, put money in the bank, put that ring on that finger, and they want to do whatever it takes. And if you get caught, they don't really want to know about that. They just want you to do what it takes, do whatever it fucking takes. So it's unfortunate that Froome has had to come to this situation here. I mean, you risk your health, you risk everything. And he's had a crash there. That's an interesting looking bike as well, isn't it? But that's just what we live in. There's a lot of hypocrisy going on. I read some of the comments. Be like, oh my god, Chris Froome's a doper. Like, oh my god, this is team lie. It's like, come on, man. Like, you expect people to be able to ride that fast naturally? Like, it's not humanly possible, man. You look at this. You got people crashing. There's Chris Froome on his back right there. Like. You got to crash, right? You crash, you hit your knee, and then you got to go and punch out big watts. I mean, look at that. Look at that knee right there, man. That would fucking kill, man. And this dude here, look, his elbow is killing. His knee, that's his carbon bite's getting smashed up. That's Chris Froome down. His Pinarello's fucked. This BMC's about to go down. This dude's, he's just, look at that, just skimming the fucking road. Everyone's going, oh my God, there's a gutter there. There's a knee. And then you got to get up and fucking attack at 800 watts and sprint, get your handlebars straight, find your fucking SRM head unit, find your sunnies, and you're about to shit yourself as well. You got to take a dump, and now you're crashing, and then you got to do 800 watts attack to get back in the bunch. It's like, that's just the way we live in, man. If you don't dope, you won't cope. And I think to expect any of these athletes to do it naturally is just to expect too much. Especially in today's society where you're disposable by your age, you're disposable by your wattage. If you want to be a pro rider and you're not 21 killing it, then it's like, good luck. It's cutthroat as fuck. So 2,000 nanograms per mil, salbutamol, saving up to 5,000. Let's get a fucking full natty bra going on. But anyway, that's the reality of the situation. It's no news from my end. The only news really is, like, I'm surprised the UCI let that happen. I think they should not let that happen. Let us know below. Do you think the UCI should suppress these sort of results? I believe they should. I don't think it helps the sport of cycling. I don't think it helps the UCI. I believe that we should, let the public believe the fairy tale and don't give them any sort of evidence to the contrary of that, because it's in all sports. It's not cycling. It's just running. It's swimming. It's football. It's soccer. It's every motherfucking sport, man. Because hey, drugs fucking work. And if drugs didn't work, athletes wouldn't fucking take them. All right? There's people say, oh, the salbutamol doesn't work. And like, mate, come on. You do fucking 20 puffs of that, you're a puffer, and you are pushing out some more watts. That's just how it is. That's legal or not, it's going to work. Anyway, leave your thoughts, comments, and questions down below. I hope UCI makes a valid excuse for this one, just snuffs it over, and Chris Froome's not penalised. I hope he keeps his Tour, I hope he keeps his Velta, and I hope they just sniff it down. I think Chris Froome's doing a good thing. Just ignore the questions, give a little brief, generic statement, and then just leave it at that. Let people forget about it. That's my tip. Don't talk about it too much.